What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So I watched the Chris Eubanks Jr. Conor Ben press conference, and I don't know why they did it again. You know, the host was saying they didn't have to do it. The fight already sold itself, the tickets and everything. Eddie Hearn goes on to say this is going to be the biggest boxing event in British heavyweight, in British boxing history. He says that about every card, damn near. But anyway, man, this shit was like, you know how they have like these stupid reality shows, and then they have like when the show ended, they bring all the guests back, and then they talk about what happened and who they don't like and why they don't like that person. That's what this shit felt like. Like I'm listening to fucking Chris Eubanks Jr. Him and Eddie Hearn is going back and forth. He's talking about the pay. He's talking about a whole lot of things, man. Nobody got paid because of, Conor failing. He's going to give 50,000 pounds to the fighters on the undercard, and I mean that's a cool thing to do and all that. Hey, he definitely doesn't have to, but I mean, they're going back and forth. Eddie's saying that Chris only wanted it for the money, his heart's not involved, and do you really want this fight? I don't think your heart's involved. But I'm just listening to this shit, man, and it's just like boxing has become a soap opera. Boxing has become storyline. It's like, honestly, watching this shit, and it's like, I mean, because of the fathers involved, or at least Nigel Benn and his fights back in the day with Chris Eubanks Sr. I really feel like it's because these are of the sons of those two is really where the attention is coming from. Because honestly, if this move is Conor going up in weight just for one fight, just for bragging rights to say I beat this guy, this fight has nothing to do with their dads. I mean, people can try to connect it all they want, but this fight has nothing to do with their dads. I mean, this is exactly what happened on freaking Creed, where the damn son was fighting, but they had he didn't want to use his father's last name, whatever. I mean, but it was just like the whole thing. He's doing this for his father, so he ends up fighting against Drago's son, and I mean, you know what I mean. And Drago's father killed his father, but I mean, this is like some real soap opera shit. And I'm watching this shit, and I'm not even intrigued. I mean, like, Conor Ben has serious anger issues. He can't even have a conversation. He loses his cool over every little thing that Chris says. He's sitting there like he really just gets like a little child, man. And then Chris Eubanks, he just knows, like honestly, his voice is annoying as fuck, and he knows it pisses people off. And the shit he's saying has nothing to do with what's going on, but it's like he knows it. He speaks to piss people off. And notice, once he gets kind of been all pissed off, then he gets really calm. It's like, he's doing this on purpose. He did the same exact thing the first time. And it's the same thing all over again. Nigel Benn is talking about how Conor's a much better fighter than he ever was. And I know my son, I know what's going to happen. I don't see this going 4 rounds and whatever. But I mean, for me personally, this is one of these fights where I'm not going to go order this or something or whatever. I'll eventually see the replay of it. I'm not hyped for this fight or nothing like that. If Conor Ben is successful, I don't know why he'd leave 160. Because the truth of the matter is, at 147, his name never gets mentioned. And I know that his dad is trying to plug him so that this one fight can go beyond that, and if his son is successful in the win, and get his name in the mix with bigger names. Now, it's not that there's a whole lot of names at 160 pounds, because it's not. So the reason I'm saying well, put it like this. The reason I'm saying I don't know why he would just go fight the one time is because as far as at 147, okay, we know who the man is at 147. But as far as him fighting against Boots, fighting against Mario Barrios, whatever, I mean, like, I really I don't know what it is, but I know people, and I'm not talking about liking or disliking in terms of rankings and all of that, but fans, like, people just don't like Conor Benn. But I get it. He's not a likable guy, man. Him and Chris Eubanks are both, like, annoying as hell. Like, just listening to them both talk is like, like, you just want them both to just shut up, man. So, but I'm sitting here like, what is this? Like, what was the purpose of this press conference? And I feel like the host may have felt like this is some dumb shit. Because he mentioned it like twice, that they didn't feel that they needed to do it, but they just did it. Just, because I'm sitting here watching this shit. And I'm like, all right, last time we saw you two, Chris Eubanks slapped the shit out of Conor. Conor's trying to get at him and all, whatever. And the funny thing is hearing Eddie Hearn. Well, first off, if Conor sees Chris Eubanks, it's on sight. I'm like, man, you sound so off and stupid saying that shit, Eddie. Never try to use slang again. That shit just don't sound right coming from you, man. You that was the most non-threatening threat I ever heard somebody say. Like, but this whole situation is like, I don't know, man. How y'all feel about the fight? I'm just not, like, pumped for this fight at all. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. There's really no names at 160. At 147, I don't see Conor Benn beating Boots, but you never know, right? But I don't see him beating Boots. At 160, he could find himself in a situation that he may end up winning some gold at. He might wind up being the man in that division, and that's the reason I say that, because at 147 pounds, his name never comes up in the conversation. If he can rack up some wins at 160 and become the champ at 160, I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know what Jamal Charlo is doing. I don't know if it's not a hell of a lot going on. So, but this is what I'm saying, where he can come and maybe breathe some life into the division. Like, who knows? I really don't know. Boxing is just weird right now. It's really just weird. And ask yourself this question: what would boxing look like if Turkey hadn't come in and did what he's been doing? We just don't want to see him fall into the political side of things, where, just because he's able to pay guys, he used that to manipulate them to make certain fights happen. Like, it's just not necessary, man. Let things happen the way it's supposed to, And now, when you look at, like, this type of situation, right? Just think about this. Look at what Turkey was doing, and look at what people like Mauricio with this whole franchise championship bullshit. Certain guys, a title that it's not even a physical title. You can't defend it. You can't lose it. It can only be taken away from you due to Mauricio Sulaiman. Do you even hear anybody talking about who's a franchise champion now? And I told y'all this was a bullshit concept from the very beginning. And, this is one of the things I said. If you look at Canelo and, like, him being able to get opportunities that other people weren't given simply because of a favoritism title, that's what I'm saying when I talk about things. I'm going to say what I'm going to say about anybody. Anybody. Tell me what God you believe in. I talk about that motherfucker too. I don't care about that bullshit. The thing that people overlook is the reasoning and the facts of what I'm saying. It's like, if put it to you like this. Let's say Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, right? They're in the same weight class. But Tyson Fury is the franchise champion. So AJ is in a position of, he just keeps fighting, but won't get the title shot. Meanwhile, let's just say Tyson Fury is able to go down to Bridgerweight and fight there. Come back up to heavyweight, fight there. Go down to cruiserweight, fight there. He's given opportunities. Anthony Joshua is his mandatory, but he doesn't have to fight him. You understand what I mean? So Anthony Joshua, whatever title that he get or opportunities he get, he have to do it the old-fashioned way and earn it. Whereas Fury's giving opportunities. So all of a sudden, Tyson Fury, cruiserweight champion, bridgerweight champion, heavyweight champion. But AJ wasn't given those opportunities. Nobody else was given those opportunities. You see, so when the history books say, oh, yeah, but, Tyson Fury, he accomplished more, because he won titles in different weight classes. But what they failed to understand was, this title was given to him so he can duck his mandatories, go to other divisions and fight for titles there. You understand what I mean? So he was given opportunities. Now, did he have to win the fights? Of course. But what I'm saying, if AJ was given those same opportunities, more than likely he'd have beat those same people as well. And there's other fighters that probably would have beat those same fighters as well. Or, but they wasn't given those opportunities. And this is what I'm saying. This is like, those type of concepts is garbage. All these trophy belts and all this bullshit. So, like I said, if you don't want to be on one of these Saudi cards, is because you not up for the challenge of these real fights. And so, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Funny thing is, Chris Eubanks told a story about how Turkey called him and asked him what he wanted, what did he want to make in this fight. And when he gave him his price, he told him, all right, done. And, all this was to shame Eddie and actually to let people know Eddie's not the mastermind behind this. It's Turkey and not Eddie and stuff like that. I get it. Okay, you wanted to get this shit off your chest. You and Eddie don't like each other and whatever. But, man, this was like one of the weirdest freaking... This was just one of like the weirdest freaking press conferences I've ever seen, man. This is one of the weirdest. It's just like y'all have nothing to talk about. You're just up there for nothing, just wasting people's time. And I'm watching this shit, and I'm like, okay. I mean, it is what it is, man. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this fight. Do y'all even care about this fight? And how y'all think this fight's going to go? Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.